Hi, my name is Sebastian Baltes, and I'm going to present our journal first paper, Contextual Documentation Referencing on Stack Overflow. This is joint work with Christoph Dreude and Martin Robillard. Software engineering is knowledge intensive. There are many different software documentation resources out there on the internet that developers may consult depending on the information needs. However, those documentation resources do not exist in isolation. They form a documentation ecosystem, and one can consider Stack Overflow a major information broker between those documentation resources. Manifestation of this role are the many hyperlinks in Stack Overflow posts pointing to API documentation, developer tutorials, or Wikipedia articles describing certain concepts relevant to the question that's being discussed. We studied how and why documentation resources are referenced in Stack Overflow threads. We looked at two different cases. We utilized the mixed methods research design and focused on the context of links. So how are they used in Stack Overflow posts and their purpose, so why they are being added to the posts. We identified many different categories for context and purpose. And one finding is that the purpose of the links depends on the technology domain. So there were significant differences between the two cases that we studied. We also arranged the purposes along a purpose spectrum from citation to recommendation. So some links towards the citation end of the spectrum are usually not meant to be followed. Other links towards the recommendation end of the spectrum are meant to be followed, and users often make this explicit in their posts, that it's a required background reading, for example, for the thread, or specific recommendation that a reader should check out. And this relativates Stack Overflow's recommendation to always add context to links, because as we found, not all links really need that context. As I already mentioned, links are also a reflection of the information needs of a certain technology domain. We found considerable differences. For example, links to concept descriptions were much more common in one of our cases, regular expressions, compared to the other case, which was Android, which makes sense because regular expressions have a strong theoretical foundation. Our long-term goal is to improve the efficiency of information diffusion between Stack Overflow and the broader software documentation ecosystem. And one idea is, for example, to build a tool based on our findings that automatically classifies links according to their purpose, and thus helps readers to decide whether a link is worth following or not.